Hi, hello. So, it's been a while, because, well, if you've read some of my posts or followed my YouTube thingamabobs, you would know that in the meantime I got married, so yay for me. I still look a bit disheveled, but hey, that comes with the territory, I suppose. Look, I don't know if you can see it, but it's basically the second one. It's difficult because it's in mirroring. Look, not the green one, but the other one. Ta-da! Sort of a Celtic knot kind of thing. Oh my god, I look awful. Don't mind that. Yay, I got new glasses. So, I wrote some things down because, as you might know, I tend to derail a bit. I'm starting to get a headache, so hopefully this won't be too long. I always say it, but this time I'm going for it. So, okay, so first of all, the wedding. Don't worry, I'm not here to talk about all the mushy and gushy stuff and all of that, but more on how I experienced it from an introvert kind of standpoint. Well, for one thing, it reaffirmed again that I am an introvert, because after the wedding was finished, we were dead tired. I think we were at home I think we were in bed at approximately 7:30 a.m. ish, something like that, and I had been up since 7 a.m. the previous day, so I was pooped, and our darling children did decide to not let us sleep longer than I think 11:30, something like that. So we were quite messed up. But although physically being completely, I'm going to minimize my screen with the camera because else I'm always going to look at it. Although we were very tired physically, it was a lot less. It was to be expected. I mean, we just pulled an all-nighter to say so. It was dancing and eating cake and posing for pictures, and the city hall, the church, the feast, the reception, all of that. All very fun. We had a swing. We had a small sort of swing Dixieland band that played at our reception, so that was nice. But then the day after, so not the day after the wedding, but the day after the wedding, it was a Monday. I've taken 2 days off from work, so no holiday. No how do you say it? I'm tired. I can't think of the name. Wedding travel. What's it called? Honeymoon. So no honeymoon. Only sunny Belgium. But and actually it was just pouring and raining, but it's okay. I really don't mind. We're going on holiday in August, so it's okay. It already costs us a lot of money. So, it's time to be practical. And we have children, so I don't want to leave them behind for one day. I'm derailing already. Oh my god, I've barely even started. No, so wedding, huh? The days after, I think the worst were the first 2 or 3 days, and even then it took a couple of more days. I was empty. I mean, I was completely mentally void of any I just couldn't handle any social interaction anymore. It was all out. I'm sorry, everything I had in me to give in social interactions was gone. My boyfriend, whom I believe to be, and controversial topics coming in, whom I believe to be an ISFP, a boyfriend. Oh, hold on, my husband. Ooh, a husband who I believe whom I believe to be an ISFP, but a very social one at that. So I mean, not shy or anything, but that does really like his alone time. Or it could be that he just became ISFP. I know it's not a thing, but yeah, I don't know. He gets recharged by a lot of people, whilst it's like it were people I all liked. I invited them, but for every conversation or every interaction I had with them, it's like I gave them this much, they gave me a lot back, but it was always just a teeny tiny bit less than I give them, which of course ends in you being depleted of resources, and it's a very strange feeling, because the days after you would think, oh, they're going to relax a bit, but no, there were so many things that needed to be done or bought, or like for example my new glasses. I was putting it off until the wedding because I just didn't have any time, so I said now we're going, because I was wearing the same frame for 5 years and the paint was coming off, and it was, let's just say it was time for a new one. We were in the stores or we were with people, just basically being around just with him. It was okay, but the moment I was in crowded places or even stores with a bit. Oh, I'm sorry. It's quite tired. It's quite late here. So it's 12 p.m. a.m. It's 12 in the night. Whew. Solid. It just felt as if nothing was registering anymore, and I couldn't. It's almost like I was allergic to social contact. I got SMSs concerning the wedding and stuff like that, and emails, and I just went. Normally I read them. Maybe I won't reply directly, but I'll read them, and I'll swipe them left to say, hey, gotta reply to that somewhere next day, so something like that. But now it just reading them, just reading my emails, just going, oh, I have this many new emails. Never mind. I'm not even going to look at it, because then I might feel compelled to reply, but I don't have the energy for it right now. So it was, although being very, very fun, it's for an introvert, and oh yes, the being in the center of attention all day, that's fantastic. I mean, mwah, gotta love it. Normally, in events like this, it's fun. Sorry. But sometimes, after a couple of hours, I can just go sneak in a corner, read on my phone a bit, just do it. It's sort of a turbo recharge of my batteries. But here, well, when you're dressed in white, and as the bride, everybody finds you all the time. So there wasn't really any opportunity for that. One can only go to the bathroom this many times. So, okay, then, next topic on my list. ISFPs. I believe my husband to be an ISFP. First, one time he took a cognitive test. It was an ENFP, which I never believed him to be an N. I mean, it's just, no. There are too many things. A sensor, I was almost that certain about that. A P, yes, very much, very big P. We're very P. Then the F, yeah, that was almost a certainty as well. And I'm quite convinced it is, because he's not one to go about things in a logical fashion. I'm the one doing that in this relationship. We come. I mean, we come together in that, so that's good. then I'm not certain. When we met, when he was younger, we used to go out a lot, but I went out a lot as well, and I'm an INTP, so I don't know, maybe it was different. I don't know. But let's for the moment consider he's an ISFP. ISFPs, when you go look up ISFPs and INTP relationships, yeah, well, they basically have their cognitive functions completely reversed, which might explain a lot of things. For example, the basically the miscommunications. It's a lot of the times when we argue, we do argue. It's not like we continuously argue. It would be a bad marriage. But I think if you never argue, like never, I think there's something wrong in your relationship. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are people like that can live harmoniously in cohabitation without any hiccup. But yeah, that's not the case here. So, although you should, my FE, always wanting to be harmonious, but on the other side, it being my weakest function. So when I get extremely stressed, I get pissed off. One of the things I've noticed with him over the years, it drives me crazy. I mean, insanely crazy. He's very tidy. I mean, he always wants to clean. I mean, not clean, but he always wants to put everything in its place. And it's, as you know, probably, if you're an INTP watching this, you're going, yeah, that's not really me. I think so. I mean, if you're like me, it's not that I have anything against order, but I just forget it. I mean, I take something, I think I'm going to put it there, I'm going to put it back, and I just forget it, and after a while I don't notice it anymore. But I am of the principle that when I clean, when I organizing I love. Cleaning, not that much, but organizing, and I don't mean tidying up. I mean organizing. Like you have this closet full of stuff, and you say, all right, let me make this super efficient. Let me make everything tidy, fit in one box. That's something. It's a puzzle. The world is my puzzle. For some people, the world is their oyster. For me, the world is my puzzle. It's the moment I see something I can make more efficient, or maybe just tweak a little bit here and tweak a little bit there, or take it all out and rebuild it from scratch. Stuff like our medicine cabinet. We have a lot of not only medicine, but we also have children, and in Dutch you say lump, which basically means as much as being a klutz. So we have a big box of band-aids, stuff like that, and then you have special medication for children, so more things for toddlers and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know, I find it very rewarding and pleasing to tidy up that box. Even if my whole kitchen is in shambles, just tidying up that box, it makes me feel good. He, on the other hand, is, if I don't see it, there ain't no clutter. So he puts stuff away in closets. You have a closet. There is a closet with pasta and with flour and with stuff like that, and then he goes and puts, I don't know, spices in there. And of course, next time I'm cooking, I'm looking like crazy for these spices. After a while, I find them there. Then I go, why did you put them in there? I wanted to tidy up, but why not in the other closet? Because it was full. How can it be full? There was a pack of, I don't know, something, flour in there. But why? Why do you do this to me? Do you do it on purpose? I don't know. I think so. Maybe. It's a continuous battle. At times it's almost comical. I mean, it's with a lot of things, and I don't like tidying. I don't like cleaning. I'm not going to say I despise it, but it's so boring. Oh my god, it's so boring. I can't describe to you how incredibly boring it is. But organizing, it's a puzzle. I mean, I can use my mind. I can say, all right, let's make this better. Is this a TI thing? I think it is. It might be, or maybe a TE thing. I don't know. I'm an INTP, but if I can believe the cognitive function tests score wise, at least I think I'm an INTP. I'm ever doubting. Score wise, my TE is also quite developed. So maybe that has something to do with it. I always like to puzzle and stuff. Maybe it's both. I don't know. But either way, you should think he has TE, but he has also SE. And if he's an ISFP, and his SE comes for his TE. And I think that's maybe why his SE is no longer irked, because it's not something he sees. So he can't be bothered with it. For me, it's, you can close the closet, but I still know it's a mess in there. And I know every time I need to be in that closet, I need to dig behind stuff, and I don't know. It seems a bit controversial. And I always call him a fake. You're a fake neat person. If that makes sense. So, alright, so basically, yay! We just stumbled into the third and almost the fourth topic. Yeah, I'm on track, I'm on fire, woo! But yeah, the ISFPs, it's a bit weird because I read a lot of things that most of them are a bit sloppy. But on the other hand, how much of that is type related and how much of that is from upbringing? I mean the what's it called again? Nature versus nurture aspect. I think his father is very tidy, and his mom is also quite tidy, while I come from a home where, well, let's just say it's not very high on the important list. But on the other hand, we're good at seeing the big picture, so maybe the two of us together. I must admit, and then the thing is, for him, I think it feels like I go completely overboard. He asks me to clean one thing, which I almost never do or something. But then when I do it, I want to do it right. So I say, okay, I need to clean this. But if I'm going to clean this and we touch this, this is going to be filthy and all my work will be for nothing. So first we will need to do this and this and this and this, and it becomes a whole project. But afterwards, it's fabulously clean. And then he says, but I just wanted you to vacuum the kitchen floor. But the table isn't wiped, the counters aren't wiped, so the crumbs will fall on the floor, and it's not efficient. Don't ask me to do something while I know it's not efficient. Maybe I should just do it. I know, but maybe, probably in the future, sometimes I will, just because happy man, happy life? No? Alright, so then the last thing I wanted to talk about, okay, let me just check. Ooh, 20 minutes. Alright. So, self-type doubts. I'm still doubting myself. I mean, I think I'm pretty certain my TI is quite high. If everything I read about TI is correct. But somewhere I read, yeah, if you're an INTP, then you know you're an INTP. You won't easily mistake yourself for another type. Is that so? Are there other people experiencing this? Because I don't know. Another person said, if one of the type is most prone to doubting their type, it's the INTP. Just because they're they're first of all they're introverted thinkers, so they just keep mulling it over and mulling it over and mulling it over, and they take it apart and they build it up again, and maybe I missed, and then maybe if I just read one more description, if I just decipher this, if I just read up a bit more on that, on my shadow functions, on whatever, the book by Naomi something, was that really me? All of that. Logic dictates to say that I believe INTPs would be more prone to doubt their type than others, because they continuously go searching for new information and thinking about it, and then rehashing and rethinking and adding new information, and maybe if I try a different scenario, would this fit me more? So it seems very INTP to me, but I can be mistaken. I was wondering if anybody of you had an idea on that, how you feel that. Somebody else said the same thing basically. If you're an INT, but in this case it was a G, if you're an INTG, you know you're an INTG, which seemed to make a lot more sense, because their first external function is judging. So no, wait, yes it is, yes, ooh, good of me. I don't know, it would, and also no, maybe it doesn't have to do with that, but just because it's a very, very specific type, I don't know. So if anybody could give me some clarification, or do you experience this the same way, or anybody of you have relationship advice for people, INTPs in relationships with ISFPs, because well, yes, complete opposites and all of that, but to be honest, I mean, we're more than 11 years together and married now, so we must be doing something right. We have some shared passions and sense of humor and stuff like that, so I think these are things that are very important. But it is true, for my deep philosophical discussions, it won't be with him. And some people would say, okay, but how can you, as an introverted thinker, is that enough for you? Is that sustainable for you? But I think, do not underestimate the. If I would describe him, I would describe him as a caregiver. I mean, he's not a caregiver in his profession, but to me, he kind of is. I'm more the. I'm not going to say dreamy, because I'm not really dreamy, but I'm more big plan. Not always, yeah, I was talking about it with somebody and I said I'm not really that future oriented, but I realized actually that at that moment I was mostly thinking about myself. You know, the typical question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know, man. What are you asking me? But for example, if you ask me, what do you think will be done in your house in 5 years, then I can answer. Is that INTP? I mean, does that mean something? Does that mean nothing? Is it weird that I can say it, for example, about my house, but not about myself? Or does it just mean that I'm very, very materialistic? Because now the next thing is new kitchen, but for example, the previous things were all energy saving materials and improvements in the house. So okay, this has gone on long enough. Let me know what you think, or don't. So ciao.